Throw this chalk over your head right now. The thing to watch out for is that you have to throw it at a speed of 7.9 kilometers per second. If you throw it too hard, it will fly out of the earth. And if you throw it too weakly, it will fall back to the ground. So what do you think? You just solved the problem of global warming. This is the movie Snowpiercer. They shot refrigerants into the sky to stop global warming. But the result was instead, the Earth froze.
Goodbye, global warming.
The average amount of solar energy reaching the Earth's surface is 340 watts per square meter. Meanwhile, the global warming effect of greenhouse gases emitted by humans is about 3.2 watts per square meter, or about 1% of the solar energy. This means that if we reduce only about 1% of the solar energy reaching the Earth's surface, we can offset the global warming effect. This is calcium carbonate, which makes up 99% of chalk, and it has the property of reflecting light. If we spray this calcium carbonate into the stratosphere to block sunlight, wouldn't we be able to lower the temperature of the Earth? In fact, this idea was inspired by a natural disaster that occurred 30 years ago. 30 years ago, after Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines erupted, volcanic ash and sulfuric acid spread into the stratosphere, and the dust blocked the sun's heat, lowering the Earth's temperature for 3 years. Scientists saw this and thought it could be a solution to stop global warming. Experts argue that reducing greenhouse gas emissions is the best way. But climate change is progressing so quickly that we have reached a point where we need to artificially block the sun's heat. In particular, calcium carbonate is common enough to be used in chalk, cement, glass, fertilizer, etc., and is cheap, so it has the advantage of being feasible right now. The biggest advantage is that it buys time for humanity to reduce greenhouse gases and create an eco-friendly society. In fact, this story is quite serious. It was discussed at the UN Environment Assembly in 2019, and the ScopeX research team at Harvard University is conducting this project. In June 2021, Sweden attempted to conduct an experiment with a small amount of calcium carbonate, about 1 kilogram. However, the plan was cancelled due to opposition from environmental groups. Some scholars and environmental groups argue that, first, if the amount of sunlight entering the Earth decreases, plants will be affected in photosynthesis, and food production may decrease accordingly. Second, if the temperature and rainfall change, it may cause unexpected damage depending on the region. In particular, it will affect the monsoon in Asia. And finally, there is concern that many countries around the world will no longer make efforts to reduce carbon. This idea of lowering the temperature of the Earth by covering the sun with chalk powder, is it hope for us? Or is it another disaster?